Today, we're jumping into the story of a truly pivotal thinker in the world of Jewish mysticism. This is a man who stood at a crossroads of giants, and, instead of just choosing one path, he decided to build a bridge between all of them. His name is Rabbi Yitzchak Eisik Chaver, and his story is all about connecting what seemed completely unconnected. So, let me ask you this. Imagine for a second you have this incredible intellectual puzzle. You've got three of the most profound, brilliant thinkers in your entire tradition. But their descriptions of reality, of the cosmos, of God, they seem to be in direct conflict. So who do you follow? What if the answer isn't to pick one, but to find the hidden unity in all three? All right, so to really get what's happening here, we have to rewind the clock to the 18th and early 19th centuries. Now, this was a time of just incredible spiritual and intellectual energy in Jewish thought. Kabbalah, the ancient mystical tradition, it wasn't some dusty old thing on a shelf. No way. It was a living, breathing, and very fiercely debated field of study. And on this landscape, you had three absolute giants who dominated everything. First, way back in the 16th century, you have the Ari, Rabbi Isaac Luria, who basically reshaped all of Kabbalah. Then, fast forward a couple centuries, and two more titans emerge, Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, known as the Ramchal, and the legendary Vilna Gaon, or the Gra. These three, they were the pillars of the mystical world. And here's where it gets really interesting, because they were so different. The Ari, he described this breathtaking cosmic drama, a universe that was created, shattered, and is in this constant process of being repaired, what we call tikkun. The Ramchal comes along and takes a more rational approach, saying, hey, these deep mystical ideas, they're best understood as parables, as allegories. And then you've got the Vilna Gaon. He demanded absolute intellectual rigor, precision, and clarity. He treated Kabbalah almost like a sacred mathematics. On the surface, these systems just do not seem to fit together at all. So, into this world of clashing ideas, our protagonist is born. And he isn't just some bystander watching from the sidelines. Oh no. He's a direct inheritor of one of its most powerful, most demanding legacies. This is Rabbi Yitzchak Eisik Chaver, born in 1789. And get this, as a young man, he becomes a student of Rabbi Menachem Mendel of Shklov. Now, Rabbi Menachem Mendel was one of the Vilna Gaon's main disciples, so this places Rabbi Chaver in the direct intellectual lineage of the Gaon school of thought, the most rigorous and precise one of them all. His connection was so real, so profound, that he was given this absolutely incredible title, a title that tells you everything you need to know about his role in this tradition. They called him the third mouth of the Gra. So what does that even mean, the third mouth? It means he wasn't just repeating what he learned. He was seen as the third in a direct line of transmission from the Vilna Gaon himself to his student Rabbi Menachem Mendel and then straight to Rabbi Chaver. He was the one who could actually articulate and explain the Gaon's deepest, most hidden secrets for a whole new generation. But here's the thing. Rabbi Chaver didn't just want to be the voice for one master. His life's work was way more ambitious than that. He looked at the apparent conflict between these giants not as a problem, but as an opportunity for a grand and honestly an audacious synthesis. This is the heart of his amazing idea. Rabbi Chaver believed that the Ari, the Ramchal, and his own master, the Vilna Gaon, they weren't actually disagreeing. He argued that they were just using different languages. One was poetic and cosmic, one was allegorical, one was intellectually precise. But they were all describing the very same ultimate divine reality. His mission really was to create a unified field theory of Kabbalah. And his method for doing this was just brilliant. So here's how it worked. He'd take a really complex, dramatic idea from the Ari and a seemingly opposite, abstract one from the Vilna Gaon. Then he'd use the Ramchal's toolkit, the whole idea that deep truths are hidden in parables, to unlock them both. He showed how the Ari's cosmic dramas could be read as these profound allegories that, when you understood them that way, aligned perfectly with the Vilna Gaon's precise system. And look, this wasn't just some abstract, academic game for him. This whole method allowed him to produce these deeply moving interpretations of ancient ideas, making them incredibly personal and relevant for everyone. Just listen to this incredible insight from his work, Or Torah. What he's saying here is so profound. He teaches that every single soul learns its own unique piece of the Torah before it's even born, but forgets it the moment it enters this world. Our entire life, then, becomes a search for that lost object, our own personal truth. The whole spiritual journey isn't about discovering something new, it's about remembering something we've always deep down known. And the man was prolific. I mean, just look at this. He wrote Pitchei Shearim to create a gateway for students into the Ari's super complex system. He wrote Magen V'Tzina, a passionate defense of Kabbalah itself. He wrote detailed commentaries on foundational texts like the Zohar. But, and this is key, he wasn't just a mystic. He also wrote Binyan Olam, a dense book of rulings on Jewish law. This kind of range just shows you a mind that could soar in the highest mystical realms and at the same time stay totally grounded in the practical details of everyday life. So why should we still care about a 19th century Lithuanian rabbi? Simple. Because the bridge he built didn't just connect the past, it stretched forward, paving the way for the entire future of Jewish thought. You see, his work of synthesis was also a powerful act of preservation. By building a coherent system out of all these different streams, he made sure that this incredibly profound and complex tradition would actually be accessible and understandable for the generations that came after him. He was an absolutely crucial link in the chain. And if you want to see just how huge his impact was, look no further than Rabbi Abraham Isaac Kook, one of the most important Jewish thinkers of the 20th century. Rabbi Chaver's whole project, unifying cosmic mysticism with intellectual rigor, created the very framework that allowed Rabbi Kook to later integrate Kabbalah with modern philosophy, Zionism, even art. That core idea that all the apparent contradictions are just parts of a greater, hidden unity that is absolutely central to both of them. So, in the end, Rabbi Chaver wasn't just some archivist, dusting off old books. He was an innovator who was actively shaping the future. By building that bridge, he created a unified, dynamic framework that allowed an ancient tradition to remain a living, breathing force, one that was capable of evolving and speaking to the challenges of a whole new world. And this leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The work of thinkers like Rabbi Chaver really poses a timeless question for all of us. How do we honor the giants of the past while building a language that speaks to the present? Well, it's through the work of these bridge builders, these synthesizers, that a tradition truly stays alive.